Hey guys, it's Lee and Michelle, Resistance Chicks, April 11th, 2017. It is a Tuesday evening for us.
We want to bring you back
to Sweden.
Yeah, so there's a lot of developments happening in Sweden. First off, it turns out there was a unsung hero who actually drove his truck. He saw the lorry, I'm learning that's a new word over there, the lorry headed down, and he said that there was just bodies flying all over the place. So he took his delivery truck, or he was a security guard, I'm sorry, and he drove it towards the giant truck, and that driver swerved, and that's when he ran into the building. So I wanted to bring you that because I thought it was pretty good news. Hero security guards saved hundreds of lives and protected the Swedish Parliament. He says that he saw the truck barreling down, and it was yards away from Parliament. And he drove into the terrorist path. His name was Santiago, I want to say Weva. It was sitting outside when he saw a hijacked van racing down the street. He believed the terrorist was headed towards Parliament, and he stopped him with the van. This caused the truck to veer into the Allen's department store instead, killing four. Mr. Chevet then jumped out to aid the dying and the wounded people in the road. The brave security driver saved hundreds of lives with his quick thinking. He says it's just 500 meters down the road from the scene of the attack. And he said when he got out, it was funny, there's a picture here of this lion that ended up in the middle of the road too. And I just wanted to give him his glory. He says, I first saw the lorry smash through lampposts, benches, and flower pots. Then I saw people flying into the air. I felt certain that the lorry was going to continue down Drottninggatan Street towards Parliament. The driver's aim was clearly to continue down the entire street and hit Parliament. What I do remember most clearly is the noise. There was a loud noise coming from the lorry. The sounds of thuds as it hit people, and it just kept growing and growing. It was unpleasant to hear and unpleasant to see. In an act of astonishing bravery, he accelerated his van directly into the path. He said he was not scared. It was actually a strange feeling when it happened. The lorry was coming towards me, and all my focus was on helping protect people in some way. And he didn't die. And I'm just...
I mean, it is unfortunate that it killed 4 people, but I think in the heat of the moment, you go ahead and you just do what you have to do, seeing that it's, you know what I mean, it just keeps going after all of these people, and it's going to kill hundreds more possibly.
So, in other news, the Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven pledged to change his country's liberal attitude and will never go back to the days of mass
That is such a huge thing, you guys, for him to come out and just say, you know what, he's waking up. And if you didn't see our last segment, go back and watch it at the end where we're like, listen, how many times does this have to happen before people will wake up to the truth that this is a problem? So the fact that in Sweden, he is saying that this is a problem and they're not going back. You guys, I think that this deserves a huge round of applause. I mean, this is really, really important, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. And he says, Sweden will never go back to the mass migration we had in the autumn of 2015. Never. Everyone who has been denied a permit should return home. Now remember, the perpetrator was a failed asylum seeker. He was sent home. This makes me feel enormously frustrated. If you have been denied a visa, you are supposed to leave the country. He added, terrorists want us to be afraid, want us to change our behavior, want us to not live our lives normally, but that is not what we're going to do. Terrorists can never defeat Sweden, never. There are more than 3,000 migrants living unlawfully in Stockholm alone, police said. Akalov, 39, had expressed support for ISIS, the Islamic State, and the worldwide extremist group Hizbah al-Tahrir, whose UK members include jailed hate preacher, y'all can probably pronounce it for me, and Jem Shandauri. So the perpetrator reportedly told police that he carried out the attack on the orders
of the Islamic State.
He allegedly said the bombings in Syria must stop. Bam! Right there, y'all. Right there. Come on. This guy killed a bunch of Swedes and said, the bombings in Syria must stop. ISIS. ISIS.
It's the same thing
ISIS.
everywhere. They
ISIS
are the
is
same
against Assad.
people.
ISIS is against
people
Assad. He said he allegedly confessed the attack and told investigators he was pleased with what he had done and had accomplished what he set out to do. Police sources said a bomb found in the truck, which failed to detonate. Praise be to God, Lord Jehovah.
Now let's
With
read
chemical
this.
gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me.
With gas canisters, chemicals, and nails. So here we are with
That's
the chemical
the same
thing again.
Russian bomb.
But I know, but I'm just saying,
Oh.
it's like the chemicals. They are using chemicals.
Right.
You guys, this is really important to cover the similarities between all of these different attacks and their motivation. Who's doing it? Why?
9 of the 15 victims injured are still being treated in the hospital, 4 of whom remain in serious condition. 2 are in intensive care. He's a father of 4 living in a shabby apartment in Stockholm. He's a construction worker, applied to the Swedish Migration Board for a residency in 2014, was turned down. He was subsequently refused in 2016, but avoided deportation by giving police a false address.
During one interview, he allegedly told an employer that he was an expert in explosives, because that's going to get you a regular job.
So the suspect was friends with key figures in the Islamic group Hizbut Utahri, including its leader in Sweden, and shared ISIS propaganda. And this reminds me of the story in Italy where they it says that the Italian mafia is coming after you. I think they're bringing a story right now and another story.
Sure, we got time.
I'll just tell you right now.
Okay, she's going to
The
tell you.
Italian mafia, right? They don't take kindly to people trying to blow up the Christian Rialto Bridge. Alright? We celebrate Easter, we go to the Rialto Bridge, you're not going to blow it up, so what they do, they shut down the one mosque in 100 miles of Venice. Ain't gonna happen here. People are upset. And they're like, I don't care if you're upset. I don't give a care. I don't care. Go blow yourself up. Alright? Okay. He allegedly told a friend about his plans to carry out the atrocity days earlier. By tomorrow night, I'd like to find a big car and drive it into a crowd. So, there's a couple more things I wanted to address with Sweden. Now, these bleeding heart women in Sweden keep getting killed and raped. These liberal so-called feminists who actually don't really care about females because they're all being, assaulted and can't go out at night. One of the victims, and I do want to say I'm sorry to your family.
Awful.
I'm sorry that this happened. To analyze this without the personal aspect of it is heartless. I am devastated that this person is no longer in Sweden. Right? I'm hoping that if anything can come out of it, learning or something, that we know that that there are women who work with asylum seekers, and then they're no longer with us. She was a psychiatrist committed to helping asylum seekers facing
Deportation.
A Belgian psychologist and mother to an 18-year-old son, I'm so sorry, God rest your soul, who worked with asylum seekers facing deportation, has been named as the first victim of last week's terror attack in Stockholm. Malise Derrymaker, 31, had been waiting for friends on Friday afternoon when failed asylum seeker Rakhamat Aklavo, sorry if I butchered that, plowed a truck into crowds in what is thought to be a key musician from the small town of Lembeek near Brussels, Belgium. Derrymaker was the first to be hit by the vehicle and died instantly at the scene.
Oh my gosh.
The mother of one was very committed to helping asylum seekers. A former psychologist working in detention centers for Belgium's immigration office, she often helped illegal immigrants like her alleged killer, whose asylum claim was rejected in Sweden. It was reported that she was always seeking meetings with illegal migrants in detention, stating a desire to understand them better and to build bridges. It is difficult for me to talk about her death. A friend told the media she played the flute and taught music to children. She was always smiling, and I'm sorry. It's just awful.
Here's the thing, you guys. It's really unfortunate that it was her, because I do believe that a lot of these women have a good heart and their heart is in the right place.
Right.
But they just can't see the truth.
Right.
And it's very unfortunate that this this exact type of person that she had devoted her life to help is who ended up being her demise. And I think that that's really unfortunate. But like Leah said, if there's any good that can come out of it, and it can possibly wake up other women that are doing the exact same thing as her, I think that it should be used. And that's why we're bringing this to you, because it has to be said.
And shutting down the mosques where these people meet, where you know that they are being radicalized, where you know it's not just, if one time this happened in one area, I would say, wow, this person must be crazy.
Exactly. But the fact that it's happening over and over and over again all over the world.
Millions of
they're not isolated
Muslims,
cases.
When you interview them, they're for Sharia law. They really want to see Islam take over politically the whole world.
And that's the thing, is Islam is a political ideology, and their goal is to take over the entire world and to spread their religious political ideology everywhere.
Interesting, I do want to play the other side real quick. In listening to the people in Syria, they were moderate. You could say, I wouldn't even say moderate. You could say real religious Muslims who just wanted to seek God, who just wanted to get up every day and do their thing, and they wanted to be multicultural, right? And as our friend in France would say, they didn't really take it seriously. They were just Muslims, but they wanted to be multicultural. They loved people, and so I do believe that there are those kind of Muslims around. But there is a tumor and a cancer inside growing, and it's being fed because they're going back to the Middle and the Dark Ages with their teaching. So there we go.
All right, you guys, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications, and find us on Facebook and Twitter. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Keep up the fight. Keep sharing articles. Keep seeking the truth, because that's how we're going to have this awakening. That's how people are going to find out about stuff, because you guys are sharing things, because you're speaking out, and people are listening to you.
Awesome. We should probably keep the...
I was cold all alone, no place for home every day, so afraid, but you called